Coming to you from Rockingham, IPL Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to IPL Radio. You're here with Jack and Danny, and I have the privilege of having one of my spot workers live with me in the studio today. Sean Fry, thank you so much for coming on board to the show today. I'm so excited and such a pleasure to have you here. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Jack. No thanks necessary. I'm delighted to be here. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Yes, I bet you have, and it's such an honour to have you on board for me and Danny. We're very pleased and happy at the same time. So one of my first questions to you is what was it like for you essentially growing up as a kid?
How far back? How far back do you want me to go? You want the life story?
Just a little bit of the life story.
I'll give you the basics. I was born in Darwin. Moved down to Albany, which is about as far as you can go in Australia. Well, technically, I guess my parents moved to Albany and brought me with them when I was 2 years old. Went to school down there and then moved to Perth for university. And I've been here ever since.
And what was it like, going to university, everything like growing up in your hometown? It was Darwin, you told me yesterday, I'm sure.
Yes, that was where I was born, but I have no memories from that because I left when I was 2. So
no, of course not. It would be hard to remember.
Grew up in Albany and then did all my school down there and came up and did exercise and health science degree at UWA. And then had a series of other sort of jobs over the next few years, and then eventually sort of settled on doing some support work. And here we are. I got about 4 or 5 different jobs, but obviously the support work is probably the one I love the most.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think for support work, that's something that you're really committed to, because I can tell it's something that you really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it, and I know the great man sitting next to me loves it as well. We talk all the time about that, and
fell into it. I don't know if it was like that.
Yeah.
But I was saying to Sam, and
I was going to ask how you got into it. Yeah,
I just fell into it. I was a bit here and there at school. Didn't know what I was doing. I did a fishing course.
Bit of a lost soul.
Yeah, I didn't really know because I was a bit younger. I was 17 when I got into it, 18 when I started, and now it's really I think I'm good at it.
Yeah.
He enjoys it. I enjoy it. It's just like everyone's winning.
Well, that's it. Is that if the client enjoys it and the parents are happy, and I think that's the big thing we've talked about as well. The shift from being able to do it independently now, and not having to work through an agency, and it gives you a lot of freedom, and just to deal one-on-one or one-on-two or however many parents or helpers they have. But as long as the parent's happy and the client's happy, for me, that's what it's about. And obviously you want to have objectives and achieve goals and things, but it's as much about have that personal connection and it's bringing a bit of joy to someone's life.
It's almost a family.
For sure,
if you can say anything and they can say, and you feel very open to new ideas or new things that you want to do or achieve or something. So it's good to have that good network, good connection. Yeah.
Well, I fell into it as well. I mean, you got into it quite early in life. I did a whole bunch of other jobs and it wouldn't be 10 years yet, but it'd be maybe 5 or 6 that I've been doing it. And I was just doing a few other jobs, a bit of bar work, still some kids sports coaching. And then one of my mates said, I'm working for this agency and just do some one-on-one mentoring with people with disabilities. And I think you'd be really good at it. And really haven't looked back since. After the first couple of sessions, I was like, this is for me. This is what I want to do.
Well, Jack says you're very, very good at it. It's
Jack's very kind.
Well, I think if I can point out one of my favorite things I love about support work, I know I've had some support workers who have been very nice to me in the past, but this could be an opportunity to let me finish.
Yeah, I know. I think he pointed at me. I was like, no, come on, we just make a joke. But
no,
what were you saying, Jack?
As I was trying to say, this could be an opportunity for me to say, it's really good how I have my dream team on board now. I'm at a point in my life where I've got everything right in life, the great support workers I go out with, because obviously, as you can tell, I put a lot of trust in who I go out with, and that means a lot to me. But now that everything's on board correctly, we are doing things that we love. And Sean's right, it's great to see a client achieve their own independence. You know, it's not just all about the one person. Every single person out there should have the right to achieve their independence and do what they love in the world. So I think for me, support work is something I'm always really proud of, and I will hang on to it for as long as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as much for you and as much for the clients themselves, it's a huge thing for the families and the parents. So I think, especially knowing your mum very well, and hello Veronica, if you're listening, we love you very much. And but she, obviously does everything under the sun to help you out, and then having those just days where she can trust that she's letting you go with people that she trusts, and you can go out. We can go to the movies. We can go to the gym. We can, you have weekends away with Danny, and it gives her a bit of a reprieve as well, which I think is really important. And it's really.
I think it's also good for her in that moment. I mean, now that she knows I'm safe, she knows who I'm with. It gives her some time to have to herself, which is what she needs, to be fair.
Yeah, everyone needs that at sometimes, I think, a bit of me time.
Yeah, that's what helps out sometimes to just have that, even your best friend. You ever went on a holiday with your friend for the first time or something, and then by the end you're like, oh, this.
I don't even know if this guy's my friend anymore. Well, how many stories do you hear about people in relationships that are a bit on the rocks, and then they go off on a holiday, and you just think, oh, I don't think they're going to survive this, and they get back, and
biggest killer
a month later they're broken up. Yeah,
yeah. Where's your boyfriend? He's in Hawaii. Come back.
Yeah, and just prolonged time with anyone. It doesn't matter how much you love them or how much you care about them or get along with them. It's always going to be.
Yeah, you need just your own time to relax.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's when it comes back to that, like being able to trust who's Jack's going out with and know who it is, and like Ronnie doesn't even need to call my organisation. She can call my phone because she knows that's the relationship you built up. So it's very. Yeah, it's very key for that, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of different clients have different needs,
Yeah.
and I'm not necessarily saying that the agencies aren't a good thing, because I think for some people it's fantastic, and having those extra layers of management and supervision and that is required with certain clients and certain support workers. But as I know you have, I've found the way the NDIS and things have progressed to this point where now we can, be flexible and clients can find what works for them.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
It's
really
good.
cool.
I think it's working well at the moment.
What do you think, Jack?
Yeah.
I reckon, in my opinion, it is working well. And now that we're on a really good level of support and need, because we care about somebody, we put a lot of trust in them, as you can tell, but it's always about, if you didn't like a support worker, it's about vibing them out to see if you can like them first, because obviously your opinion matters. It's about not what the support workers want, it's about what you want.
I think it's very,
you feel happy.
I think it's very important to find someone that you get along with, because I know there are a lot of support workers out there that probably do it because they need some work and don't necessarily have that same connection with the clients that obviously Danny and I have with you and with our other clients. So there's a time and a place for it, but I think that personal connection is super, super important.
I think it's something you can't teach. Like, you can't go to TAFE and say, I'm going to learn how to be a sport worker. It's something you have or you don't.
Yeah.
You either go there and you can listen all the time. You can be happy and cheerful and connect, or you just can't. It's just not your thing. You were not destined to be behind a computer or something, but just you haven't got that connection with the client to go and make a good support worker. So I think sometimes it's in the person. It's your vibe. It's how you communicate.
Yeah, for sure. So Jack, sorry, me and Danny feel like we're just taking over the show. We're just couple of chin waggers. Do you want to get back to the hard hitting questions? Have you got anything lined up for me?
Yeah, Spin, that was a good question at the start.
I
got us rolling.
I lost my thought with you guys talking earlier about what I was going to say.
Yeah, we talk too much, don't we?
Oh, we do.
No, it's fine.
It's the Sean and Danny show.
No, we'd never dream of it.
Okay, so my next question that I was going to ask you is, okay, so can I ask, how long have you and Maddie been together?
So Maddie, the listeners won't necessarily know who Maddie is. Maddie is my wonderful partner, probably the most amazing human being I've ever met in my life, and we met on Tinder. So it can happen,
work.
Danny. It can work.
Okay.
But that was coming up on 4 years now. So yeah, it's
4 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones, when you meet someone and you're with them for a while and you think it feels like you've been with them forever, but it also feels like you can't remember what it was like before you'd met them.
Yeah.
But then you think like, it only has been 3 years. I had a whole 34 before that. But
someone you met them, you feel like you met them before.
Yeah. So that's how long I've known her for, Jack. Almost 4 years.
Yes.
I know she is really sweet. To think about it, Maddie and I, with you, we've done some really cool events together, which has been really fun. Like when Danny and I went on holiday, you and Maddie and Mum came with us to Cobar to watch Harry and Sam perform.
It was the whole team together, wasn't it? So Harry and Sam, if you're regular listeners, they were on last week, weren't they?
Yeah, I informed the listeners they were my physiotherapist.
Yeah, and they are just awesome dudes as well. And if you want to hear that, I think you can check that one out on the YouTube now. It's been uploaded, so get on the IPL Radio.
If anyone would like to check it out or like to take this opportunity to say it's on YouTube, just type in IPL Radio at the Jack and Danny Show, and it'll be on there as soon as possible.
Yeah, super nice guys and wonderful musicians as well. I had no idea.
You as well. You've
They've got wonderful, great voices.
Yeah,
But
you're Jack's mum had arranged a little support worker catch up and a little get to know each other. So that was the first time I met Danny the other night, and saw Sam and Harry there as well. That was such a fun night, wasn't it, Jack?
And Sean jumped up on the mic as well. It's very impressive, very impressive. Harry, watch out.
Too kind. Yeah.
Since we're talking about music, I do have a question based on your music knowledge, Sean.
Oof. Okay.
Okay.
It's like trivia.
Yeah, a little.
All right, let's go.
Okay. What is your favorite karaoke song that you like to sing?
It probably depends how many beers deep we are at the time. Right now, I'd go for. I'm just obsessed with the Smith Street Band at the moment, as you know, Jack. So I'd try and find something with them like Passiona or something, but they're not going to be on every karaoke jukebox. So I mean, I'd probably go for something like "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. I think is just
I'm gonna have to play that one.
I will agree that very good.
Don't know it?
I think I do. Actually.
Okay, yeah, maybe you should search that up, Jack, because I reckon that'll be on the list. But
we'll get that going next after this.
Yeah. Well, while he's searching for that, have you got any questions for me, Danny?
Oh, well. How do you find balancing this with the other things you do? Do you find it quite easy, or do you?
It's the hardest part of all the jobs that I've got is just juggling it all.
Yeah.
But it works out so well for my life. It all depends on the clients that you have as well. So Veronica and Jack are fantastic. I'll usually see them Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Thursday. It'll depend on what else I've got on. But there'll be some weeks where like a team building event comes up. So I work for a company called Corporate Challenge, one called Happiness Co. So they involve like team building events, and somewhere where I fly out to mine sites and do like communication seminars and things. So they pop up all over the place, and I have to be able to say like, oh, can I come and see him on Monday instead this week, or she'll get someone else to fill in on the Thursday. So I can't keep a regular schedule. But I don't think I couldn't handle doing the same thing every week anyway. I like a bit of variety, and So all my clients are just fantastic, and that's another part of the great thing about doing it independently is you can basically say to these people, hey, look, I'll book in these days, but there may be some weeks that come up where I've got to go off to Newman or Kalgoorlie or something to do an event.
It's still interesting because it's like far away, red
But yeah. So to answer your question, it's the hardest part of doing it this way, but also Jack mentioned Maddie before, and so Maddie has a Physio for All is her business, which is a physio service for animals and humans. So a lot of people have never heard of a physio for animals before, but the way I'd explain it was, Jack, if you were sick, who would you go and see?
I would go and see a doctor.
Very good. You'd go and see a doctor, wouldn't you? And then what happens if you were sore, like if your muscles were sore or your legs? Who comes out and sees you? Sam and Harry. What do they do?
I would go and see Sam and Harry
Yeah.
for physiotherapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I would see Ping for my local massages.
Yeah, exactly. And then so animals are the same. Like if they're sick, you take them to the vet. But then if they've got a hamstring issue or a problem with a bruised elbow or something, you can take them to the vet as well. And the vets aren't necessarily trained for everything to do with animals because there's just too much there. So Maddie's specialized in animal physiotherapy, and so we got a big property with dogs, horses, other people's dogs coming out to get treatment, other people's horses coming out to get treatment, and keeping that big place running is often pretty tough. And there'll be times when I just need to drop everything and go if there's been an emergency or a horse has broken a fence down and jump. so having that flexibility to say, like, if I was coming out to see a client, I can call them up and say, hey, is it urgent that I come today because I've got to head home and deal or help with this emergency? And and usually they'll say, yeah, that's fine. And that's just another benefit of it. So it's tough, but it works really, really well for me.
Yeah.
My other question is, how often do you do the card games? Is it once a fortnight?
Oh, now we're getting into the juicy stuff. So this is, I don't know if I talked to you about this the other night, Danny, but so there's a game, a lot of people have heard of Magic the Gathering, which is like a collectible card game. So this is kind of a type of similar to that, but better. And it's called Flesh and Blood. There's events on almost every night in Perth, and it's a game that actually Maddie's brother Eric first introduced me to it, and then I ordered a box, and then I was just hooked. So I got a couple of mates into it, and they play as well. And one of them's over in the national championship soon in over east, and I absolutely love that. I'm a massive gamer. I love my video games as well.
Is it like Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, the video game I'm playing at the moment is one called Baldur's Gate 3, which is pretty well known for gamers. And I think you had a little gaming segment on just before. I overheard some people talking about games, but Baldur's Gate is basically a computer game designed based around Dungeons and Dragons and all the sort of the rules and the way everything works is, but it's converted into a video game. But the card game itself is just you have a character, the other person has a character, you have a set of equipment, and then you have a deck of cards, and they're all just different attacks and different things you can do, or you can swing your weapon, or you can so you just battle it out until they're down to zero or you're down to zero. And
it's good to see that you're having fun doing it, that you're really enjoying yourself. So you take pride in what you do, basically.
Absolutely.
You're more of a TV sort of person, or do you play games as well, Jake?
Well, I am a TV person, yes. Well, but no, not essentially, no.
I'm a big TV person as well. Yeah, I've got that.
I don't like too many adverts on normal TV, but now everyone just streams stuff now. Yeah,
I like that a lot. The only thing we get a lot of ads at the moment because we're pretty hooked on the Traitors. I don't know if you've seen that show. No, they get a group of people together and they all compete. They all work together to win money over the couple of weeks or however long it is, and then whoever's left standing at the end gets all the money. But 3 of the people are traitors and the rest are faithful. And then at the end of each day, they have to banish someone that they think is a traitor. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, the traitors also pick someone to murder and kick off the show. So it's all just psychology and backstabbing. And for anyone that's watching it, they'll know that when I'm talking about Sammy, he's the absolute ringleader on this show. It's so entertaining. They're all just backstabby, sneaky. Yeah, it's great fun. So, but it's only on 10 play, and there's just a ton of ads when you stream on that, and I'm not used to watching ads, so
really annoying.
Drives me nuts.
When you constantly see ads. That's why my dad suggested to me that instead of like on my computer, YouTube, that's fine. But I'm thinking of upgrading to the premium version so I can get it without the ads, because blah, 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 buy a car, blah, 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 that's really annoying.
Yeah, how annoying are the ads? I hate the way they do it, and they do it with everything, like all these services, but like a lot of the streaming services now, you can pay for the cheapest version, but it's got ads in it. Yeah. And then, like, I remember Optus Sport would start, like, didn't have any ads when it first came out, and then they started sneaking ads in, and then they started charging more, and I'm like, well, hang on, you've thrown ads in, and you're charging me more, and it's...
I know, it's so annoying. I don't know why They do it, but
Oh, I
it's
can
just,
tell you why they do it, Jack. It's
rubbish.
the almighty dollar.
Cashola.
It's all about the cash.
Yeah, because to me it seems that's all they care about.
Oh, I think you're absolutely spot on there, Jack. You're very insightful.
I've got a question about you two and your music taste, because me and Jack,
Oh,
everyone
yes.
knows that me and
We
Jack
argue.
musically are quite diverse
Yeah.
compared to each other. How do you guys compare in that sector?
I think we could probably form a triangle because I think all of our music tastes are a little bit different, but there would be a little Venn diagram where there's a bit in there that we all like.
there's something in the middle.
But it's kind of we kind of just try and find those songs. So I'll usually do with Jack. We'll get Apple Music or Spotify or whatever on, and we'll do one for him and one for me because I can't do a whole trip with just Jack's favourites because
You don't even know what I listen to, just to be fair.
What do you mean? I've spent 2 years driving around with you and you requesting songs. I know exactly what you listen to. Do you want me to tell you?
You listen to the radio.
Well, I'd listen to whatever's on. I can tell you all your favourite bands if you really want me to.
Untouched.
No, that's getting annoying. If you want to spend like the whole show discussing my artists, go right ahead.
All right. So I know you love Coldplay because we've just got you tickets for the big concert coming on.
Yeah,
And
and to Sean for fighting for us.
Far out, man. That's
However, I do like Simple Minds. Give them a shot.
yeah, cool. And you're a bit of a Swiftie like me as well.
Yeah, I love her old stuff, and I also love Dani Minogue
Mm-hmm. And her less famous sister Kylie as well.
and Madonna.
Yeah, yeah. And you like a bit of ABBA.
Yeah, Madonna can't get any better than.
You got a bit of variety, don't you? And your mum's a bit of a rocker from way back.
do.
So you like it. You're sort of forced to listen to all the Bowie and all the good music that she listens to, aren't you?
For rock bands, I like the Arctic Monkeys. I'll go with them.
Good. Hey, we found that little middle of the triangle. There we go.
And some Bernard Fanning with "Wish You Well." That's a good song as well.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. Not as good as Arctic Monkeys, but
No. But the Arctic Monkeys are a good band. I'd so go with them because
Mhm.
they're good in
Like
heart.
Fluorescent Adolescent. You playing that on the guitar yet?
Yeah. I do the little
Boom,
riff.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah.
It's very rhythm based, and when the sun goes down, that's another good.
Have you got that down though? That intro?
Oh, just the basic riff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not the bar chords and stuff like that. That's the hard.
Yeah. So have you talked about to the fans on the Jack and Danny show that you're starting to learn to play guitar? Do they know that? Yeah.
I think I've mentioned it a few times, but it's
Yeah,
very
Danny
hard.
has mentioned it before.
Yeah. Well,
it's
just
one of
wait.
those things. So you bang out a song, and then you're like, yeah, I sound good. And then you listen to someone else, and there's always someone better, and you're like, they're so far
Yeah,
to go.
I also have days where I've been playing since uni, but never like really practiced enough to be really good.
Yeah.
But there's just some days where I'll sit down and I'll start playing and singing and go like this, and just in your internal monologue, you're just thinking this sounds terrible. I can't figure out what I'm doing. Like it just some days it just doesn't feel right.
Can't force music.
Yeah, and it's hard because you're always your own worst critic with this stuff, and other people listen to you and say how great it is, and you'll just be thinking about all the stuff you stuffed up.
Yeah, that one chord you missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, just a funny story on that. I went to Bali recently. I have the reason, well, it's kind of the reason I got started, but someone gave me a guitar and it sat in my room for so long and I never picked it up. And I felt so bad that someone had given me something and that they hoped that I would pick it up. And then now I'm really into it. But my friend, he's playing for like 10 years before, and he's like teaching me chords and stuff like that. But we went to Bali and we're having a drink at a bar. There was someone playing guitar and we were talking about the chords and we were talking about all of this. And he's like, you boys know how to play. Someone come up here and play a song. And so my friend got up in front of like heaps of people and played the song. And I thought, wow, that's like, he went red all in the face as well. Like he never played in front of that many people. But I was like, wow, I really want to do that. Like, you know?
Yeah, and you're in the best stage at the moment of learning any musical instrument where you're getting to that point where you can play like a full song and you've started to learn the chords and you can string them all together. Yeah. And when you just get to that point where you can pick up a guitar and just play a couple of songs, it's so cool because you spend obviously a few months just getting the fingering down and and all the chords memorized and all of that. But it's really sort of like going to the gym when your first couple of months at the gym, you improve so much, and then you got to start putting in the work to get to that next level, and that's not as fun.
Shout out to Jack. For
oh,
that. He's been
tell you what, his gym workouts these days.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Sean takes for the listeners, Sean takes Jack to the gym on a Tuesday, and tell him about how much he.
Mate, so he was when we started. So it's less than 2 years that we've been doing it, and we've gone a couple of times a week sometimes, but it's usually just once a week. 2 if he's feeling really energetic, and We got a whole routine that we go through, but he's got some like we'll just use his dumbbell curls for an example. He started when we first started. He was doing 1 kilo on his left side. I don't know how the camera flips things, but that's is Jack's cerebral palsy side. He was doing 1 kilo and lifting 2 kilos with his right arm. And we did yesterday, didn't we, Jack? We went to the gym, yeah. So so now he's lifting 5 or 6 kilos on his left arm and 8 on his right. So he's more than quadrupled the amount that he lifts, which is just unbelievable. And it's just a testament to the work you put in, Jack, and the diet as well. You eat well and you work hard at the gym, and yeah, you've come along so far.
See, the funny thing is, even though I'm so impressed with my gym work and everything, I guess I'm trying to be like Danny in a way. So
we'd all love to look like Danny, Jack. Don't worry. Yeah, you'll get there. I probably won't. I'm on the downhill. I'm 37 now. So
you've done your what was it you did at uni?
Exercise and health science.
Exercise and health.
Yeah, and so I know very well how the physical capabilities start declining after the mid-30s. No, I'm absolutely not. That's the problem.
Sean told me yesterday if I can mention that you wanted to be a PE teacher when you were studying.
Yeah, that was the original goal. I think, I don't know, I was one of the people that the education system probably isn't very good for, because you sort of have to pick something that you want to do at a very young age. So when you go into university picking your degree, when you're 15, 16, you don't know what you're going to want to do for the rest of your life. Sometimes you find something you're really passionate in and that sticks with you.
Yeah.
But the person I was when I was 17 and the person I was when I was 23 were completely different people. So, so I got to the end of my degree, and then there's the Diploma of Education that was a 1-year course to become a teacher. And by the time I'd finished uni, I was a bit unsure of whether I still wanted to do that. And then during the year that I took off, before I was going to go and do my DipEd, they changed it to a 2-year course, and that made up my mind for me. I was like, nah, I'm out of this game. I'll go do some other stuff. So, and I'm really glad I did, because now I absolutely love my work now. So.
Yeah.
But now that you have done the work that you wanted to do, and as you explained, you're very passionate about it, which I can understand why, which is good, because I think for a PE teacher, I could tell from what you've just told us, it sounds like it's something that you weren't very happy with at the time.
I think I would have still loved it as a whole, but as we were talking about before, I think the regular routine is not a lifestyle that I think would suit me. So the same kids, the same school, Monday to Friday, every week, I think would just drive me crazy after a while. So yeah. I'm glad I didn't end up doing it, but I think if I had have gone through with it, I still would have enjoyed it, but probably just not as much as what I do now.
Now that you're in support work, essentially, you feel really confident about it and everything.
Yeah, I love it. I think I'm pretty good at it as well, and I get all the feedback from guys like you that think I am as well. So, look, from all the other jobs I've done, I've realised I have a much better understanding of myself now than I did sort of 15 years ago. And the thing that I really love in work and in life in general is, obviously I love helping people, and that you don't get into this industry if you don't do that. But I love the feeling of acknowledgement as well, and also just being able to go home at the end of the day and just feel like you've made someone's life better. Like you've genuinely made someone's life better for that day, and I get to do that almost every day. And even when I was doing like kids sports coaching, which is what I did straight out of uni, I'd do like term programs and have really shy kids that by the end of the term were just running around, and their parents would just come and be so grateful and so thankful and say like, oh, he is just a different kid. He's confident. He's happy coming here. He didn't want to step in the door the first week, and now he just loves it. And you've like really brightened our lives. Like we look forward to this every weekend, and that's what I love. Like I love that feeling. Unfortunately, the pay was so bad doing those jobs that couldn't keep me going. But I'm glad now I've got a job that pays well, and I get that same feeling. And you know, when Veronica will tell me how grateful she is, and to you and to me and other parents that just say how much of an impact I've had on their kids' lives, there's no better feeling for me, and that's why I love it.
Well, about that, Mum and I have been giving you some feedback of when you haven't been here. Mum and I have been talking about you, because Would you excuse me?
Oh, Danny, I see. I put mine on
God,
silent.
Wake
It's
up,
just
Jeff. No, that,
sorry, Jack.
that was me. I just snoozed. All right.
Yeah, we'll give Danny some bad feedback afterwards.
Sorry, I completely
Sorry,
forgot what I
listeners.
was going to
You
say.
were talking about your mum and giving me feedback and talking about that.
Okay. As I was saying in my sentence, but I'll restart it again.
Danny.
As Mum and I was saying, we like to give you some feedback sometimes when you're not here. And the feedback that I said to her the other night is that I think for me that in my opinion you're a really good support worker because you bring me a lot of happiness and a lot of joy, and not that there's any competition with the support workers I go out with, just to make that clear.
Now let's make it a competition.
Yeah.
No,
I
joking.
want gold stars.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to ask who's more handsome on air like you did at the dinner the other night, Jack. So
I didn't.
And there's a video here, so people can judge for themselves. It's different tastes.
Well, first of all, just
don't say it in the comments. I think I'm losing that battle.
well, first of all, just to be clear, I never said that on dinner night.
Oh, I
never
know, but
said
I'm just
anything
winding
like
you
that.
up. I'm just winding you up.
I know you're just trying to pull a joke with me, but the point is, I like the support workers that I go out with, and I'm confident.
Yeah.
Going out with now, and if anyone would like to talk to me about it, that's fine. I can take it.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Jack, you bring a lot of happiness to our lives as well, and I think that's the other part of the job. Yeah.
Sometimes I go to work feeling not as good
Like
as when
Yeah.
I finish work. You know.
Yeah.
I feel better after work.
Yeah,
and
like-
that's something you can't put a price on.
I never get up in the morning and have to go and see Jack and think like, oh, I can't be bothered with this today.
Yeah,
No,
you don't
not
think-
not
you don't
once.
think, oh fuck's sake, Jack! You think, hey,
Yeah.
Jack, you know, you get to go see.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Oh,
as well.
that was, you know, that flipped out. We're going to beat that. We're going to beat that. All right? So, but yeah,
Timestamp that one if we could. Yeah.
you don't. Yeah, you
that
don't.
wasn't a very nice thing.
Oh,
to say.
it was.
I think I'm going up in the competition. The more you speak,
people are
Danny.
Voting, but yeah, it's.
Yeah, and you know, it's been easy for me because it's made me think about what I really want and how I've made up my mind.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I choose you, Sean.
Oh, see, I lost.
Oh, I didn't realize we were doing the competition thing. Oh, now I'm glad we were.
Oh, but now it's made me realize what I really want.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
No, but-
it flip flops. I think some days you'll like Danny more, some days me, and that's the way it's got to be. You got to keep us on our toes.
Okay.
It's like in a sports team. If you have two people competing for the same position, they only push themselves on to be better, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're only going to get better and better as we go on. The more you pit us against each other. Yeah.
Another question I had in mind that I would like to ask you, it was about after the card games. Cause what remind me again, what is it you're doing tomorrow?
Oh, I don't even know, Jack. Tomorrow, what is it? Thursday. Oh, that's why you're
Yeah.
asking because I can't see you tomorrow. I have a team building event with Corporate Challenge in the city.
Yes. So the question is,
afternoon.
tell me a bit about the corporate challenge, about what it involves.
So Corporate Challenge is a pretty stock standard team building. So we usually get we've done with small groups and bigger groups, but I've done trips away, like I've said, out to mine sites and things, and the company that hires us basically just gets us in to run some fun activities. We anywhere from 8 to we've done events with over 200 people, but the basic structure of it is you put people into teams. Usually they want people to be in teams where they don't know the people that well, so they sort of get together, have a bit of fun, a little friendly competition, so they'll get points for outperforming the other teams, and then we have all these different themes. So we've got a great race, Survivor, we do some charity programs where we build bikes and donate them to charities, and yeah, that's the basics of the team building stuff. So some of it's like an hour and a half program, some of them are 4 hours long, and like I said, anywhere from 8 to hundreds of people, and yeah, that variety in that's pretty fun as well, even though the activities we do are all pretty similar. I enjoy that because you get to just meet a whole bunch of people you wouldn't normally get to meet and interact with them, and then if you don't like them, you never have to see them again anyway. So
Well, I think that's sweet. You know how money can get donated to charity. How
they're the ones I
people
love the
need
most
help.
for sure.
Yeah, obviously we need to be surrounded by our loved ones, and that's what we should focus on the most. We should focus on the love.
Absolutely, that's such. I think we need a T-shirt. Oh God, focus on the love. I think you're absolutely right, Jack. And I was talking to you. I was talking to you the other day about like there's the 5 love languages. Have you seen it?
Heard of it.
So and it's not like a cut and dry. Everyone has one or the other, but some people like they get more out of one than the other. So there's like gift giving and receiving, which is sort of like for people that like nice gestures, token gestures. There's physical contact. There's acts of service. So people that like doing things for other people and having things done for them. Yeah. I can't remember them all, but words of affirmation was the one that just popped into my head there because you talk about love, focusing on the love and sharing the love. And I think it's really important. And something we probably don't do enough is to tell the people how much we appreciate them and how much we love them. So that would be my message on the focus on the love theme is, tell people. Do things for the people you love. Tell them you love them because not everyone interprets the things you do the same way. And a lot of people are just like, I don't need to say it because I know who loves me and they know that I love them and I don't need it, those types of people. And yeah, I think it's always good to share the love around. So
yeah, I agree with Sean here. We have a chance to tell people how we feel, and why not now? Given that that we're on air telling people, about the 5 love languages, and if I can point out about one of the love languages, one of my favorite ones was for me commonly the act of service.
Yeah. That's my big one. I did one of the tests. I was an acts of service and words of affirmation were my big 2. The other really interesting one with those things, and there's no textbook for people, and these things aren't always 100% accurate. But there's also the personality test, like the Myers-Briggs, the one where it gives you like the 4 letters, so you can be like an EJ, ST, or whatever.
Those weird.
So whether you're like extroverted, introverted, sensing, or logic, or
there's heaps of letters that go into them now.
They have each one has all the different categories as well. But I found out that Maddie and I were both the same, which is pretty rare. Like there's 16 of them, so 1 in 16 chance. But I think it just goes like the opposites attract thing isn't true. I think you're better off finding people that are similar to you. I don't think that's.
No, I think that's to a certain extent. But if you're completely different, then you can't. But if there's 1 or 2 things, then sometimes it's good. Like we were saying, you need your time to yourself. So
but you should do one, Danny, because I'd be interested to see where you are. Because we were both.
It's not a Facebook thing, is it?
No, it's just they're just like it's a legitimate psychological test. How legitimate is up to you to think of. But it's when I was reading. So my one was a console is the personality type that Maddie and I both share, and and then when you read through what these people are like, obviously they've asked you a whole bunch of questions so that you've already kind of told them, but it was amazing how I was like, geez, this is absolutely right. It said something about how like I have a pretty strict moral code and then when people behave like in contrary to that, it really confuses me. And I'd never thought about it like that. And I was like, just those times when I was just like, what is this? I do not understand this person at all.
You have to show me this.
Anyway, I think we're gonna have to wrap up now, guys.
Is that all? Is that all done? That was so quick.
And I'm going a song. I'm gonna put Red Red Wine on by UB40.
Thank you for Sean.
No worries. That was an absolute pleasure. I wish we had more time.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks for coming on to the studio.
Thanks, Jack.
Red, red.